All right, Shalom. Give it all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kakwadash, double honors to my bishops, apostles, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who have taught me the truth. Shalom, salutations to the brothers out there, pushing the word, sincerity, and truth, delivering the message to the elect out there to run the race of salvation. And Shalom to the elect, which consists of the men, women, and children that have the true, sincere faith for Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua. The ones that's looking to earn their wings of salvation, flee out with temptation of Brother Moth out of the DC church. Yeah, coming at you with a quick one. It's something that was just on my mind, and this is the second time doing this video. I didn't know the mic wasn't working, but it's gonna be somewhat to this effect of like let you strengthen your lows, because the lows to come is gonna be your lowest. And I think about like how suffering, the lack of your loved ones, whether it be your mom, brothers and sisters, your children and wife, whatever you have you, and how that could affect your mental, and us as spiritual beings experiencing this flesh knows that there's a separation between the spirit and the mind, and how we have to fight that flesh daily, by seconds. There's always the demons are always throwing stuff at the flesh to make you feel a certain type of way, but we know through the spirit and power Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has given us mental exercises to exercise the spirit, the Rakak Wadash, which comforts us, which is down, which comes from heaven. And I wanted to start off with this because I thought about it, and this is what because I was going into how basically through black culture and how it hypnotizes Jake and the ones that's into that culture to act a certain type of way. And as soon as there's some type of static or some discomfort, Jake or whoever's into that type of culture wants to get buck wild and start killing things just for the simple sign of respect and power, and people think that's glorified in this world, this country, throughout the world and stuff like that. But then the whole time, everybody knows, once all the anger and the emotions is all settled and gone, people look at you as a fool, versus the one that walks away, and that's one of your first lines of defense is to walk away. Don't stand there and let nobody start to talk and, get the emotions all riled up. Like, nah, always keep it pushing. Never get stuck. That was one of my models in the world. Like, like basically always advancing yourself, don't ever get stuck, man. Always keep it moving. And that's something spiritual too, in a sense, man, because the scriptures talk about how an idle mind teacheth much evil. You sit around pondering on things versus taking action. That you wind up getting depressed because you're not taking action on things. And it'll then that's what a lot of people in this world will seek therapy. And when you look up the word therapy, it just goes back to the word service or to put to work. And, that means you're not working, man. You're not doing things that's therapeutic. You're not doing things that's satisfying, to the eyes, to the comfort of your spirit, And that's why a lot of people are messed up in this world, man. You got these jobs where you get to sit at home and work behind a computer and things in that nature. I'm not saying there's anything, for the ones that have that job, there's something wrong with it, but it just shows you that you don't get out outside as much and work with your hands, and have a craft, and you actually make something look beautiful, and you actually say, you're actually proud of, the lack of, for the lack of better words, you're actually proud of something, and that's what's fucked up about this world, man. And of course they put the food in there. But yeah, that's besides the point. But the point of this video is to what? Keep in mind that the times to come is gonna be super low. So I'm just thinking about that. Deny the flesh, your desires, and do that as much as possible, because your needs and wants, your wants or your desires that are pleasing the flesh could get you deleted in these end times, and nobody wants that, right? I ain't read the scripture, but this is Psalms 55:22. It says, cast thy burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. When you go look up that word sustain, it means to hold you up, man, to keep you stable, So that's why in Isaiah, was it 33, it talks about how it says the stability, knowledge and wisdom should be the stability of thy mind. What that's going to keep you stable. It's going to your understanding, right? Your what you know and your experience through your how by Shemiyah Shai, and what you applying that will keep you stable in the end times. Knowing that fear is just a feeling. And a lot of the times with our feelings, once the feelings go away, you look back at the experience and understand it wasn't that bad. It says, he shall never suffer the righteous to be moved, but thou, O power, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days. But I will trust in thee. And that's that thing, man. We want to constantly cast our burdens upon the Lord, whether it be some small little ticket, flat tire, because we all cast our burdens upon the Lord when it's time to go to court and there's some hefty judgments swinging, going around. But of course, the scriptures say basically don't be light-minded. Roughly paraphrased, don't be light-minded to judge a small matter or a great thing, man. And it's and as through the scriptures, we gain more understanding and patience, knowing that the scripture says, hear the conclusion of the whole matter, then, make a judgment, because then there's a precept to that where, because Salakia just slipped my mind. I just had it, but and that's how we become more spiritual and align our thoughts and actions with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and that's the pure definition of walking in the Spirit. And you will see how the Lord speaks to his prophets through the small signs throughout your daily lives by walking in the Spirit, versus you waking up and automatically you thinking about yourself and how to do this and that, versus like pleasing the Lord as far as reading the scriptures, going watching videos, thinking what can you do for the Lord next type of deal. Think of meditating on mercy and the Lord's power. And one of the things I'll be thinking about is like, what do I have to do to to receive spiritual power, because we know that's coming. And there's going to be individuals that receive it. And what do we need to do, to receive spiritual power? Whether it be healing, or whatever the case may be. But healing is going to be one of the biggest things, because a lot of these people's minds are going to be so perplexed that what is it? That men's hearts shall fail themselves. That's one. So I had a few that I was thinking about. I think it's 19. Yeah, man, because the times to come, man. Like the reason why I was bringing out like these jakes that hypnotized with this, what's it called, the hip hop stuff, and how their morals are gone. Sitting behind a computer making facial expressions for a video is the thing nowadays. And being cool and having expensive clothing and being a high value man in the society. There you go. Yeah, see, decency and order always is the way. But yeah, these people like I was thinking about the scriptures and how like basically at one time Israel and it talks about in Kings how people were selling dung to eat and eating donkey heads and things of that nature. And we know these YNs that they're willing to do anything to survive, whether it be eating cow's dung and mixed with mud or something, man, or something to that effect, because these people's minds, they didn't let their minds, they gave their minds to Satan unknowingly, and me just looking at this car in front of me, that's a goddamn satanic sign, man, Give me 1 second. Men's hearts shall fail themselves, Bible. That's what first thing Jake do, man, is turn into the goddamn music, bump it loud, so it could, basically let them spirits fully take over. You know, when they start mixing with the what's that called, like drugs and alcohol, and now the demon can fully seep into their into their minds. It says I'm gonna start up at verse 2. This is Luke 21 verse 25, and it says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Yeah, man. Oh, dude. Oh, my goodness. And that goes, and it's crazy, right? Because when you read these words and you try to imagine it, and you got these movies to depict it and give you somewhat of an imagination to see these things. But when you actually see these things, it's going to be like, oh, snap, man. And I thought about this because one of the Shars or Shatar had mentioned that brothers never seen a dead body. And I was just like, hey, don't say nothing. Because to see that, it does do something to you, but us, well, I'll just talk about myself. Me knowing that things in your life happens, but it'll only affect you if you let it affect you. And that's the thing about people talking about they're still healing. Like, once you heal yourself, now it's, think about strengthening and mobilization. So when you come across this event that scarred your life, or something that you say you got to heal from, that you could get up and rise up out of there, man. A lot of people just be like, oh, I'm scarred, I'm still healing. No, okay, you know the fuck you're not now, because if you still triggered and emotional about some shit that fucking happened years ago or months or something like that, I get it. For some people, they need more time. And then I never forget that video, you can still heal, man. Because some people are, people are different, and I get it. But at some point, man, you got to toughen up and move on, man. That's in the past, man. Be strong and be flexible about it. So a lot of people can't speak about certain things because they still feel some type of way. And that's the thing about this truth, man. You, as you going through your trials and tribulations, you searching out your fathers, you will figure things out about yourself, and realize you need to put a certain type of process or a system inside your daily routine so you can overcome. And that's how, you become a better Israelite, and then aligning yourself and actions towards pleasing Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Plexity shaking. Yeah, those thermonuclear missiles, man, in the sky, and America, here in America, Babylon the Great, never seen that before. Of course, you see it in the videos and whatnot, but to actually feel that, to smell that, it's gonna shock these people, because the society that we live in softens these people. That's why they're you think about a man, and it's crazy. I was talking to one of the elders about when I was somewhat of a young whippersnapper, and like when you are into combat, and it gives you a certain type of calmness, to where you're not you're not afraid. You're aware, but you're not scared and terrified and things of that nature, because you know how to handle yourself. You've been through so much training, and like years, like it's not gonna be that bad, So that's the thing about us, man, and that's why the Lord puts us through trials and tribulations, to get ahead and give us a certain type of calmness, to where we're going to be facing danger, but we won't be as scared as these people that don't have the eye salve. They don't have the spiritual cloak to protect them from evil for the days to come, man. And that's what's it's still it doesn't bug me out, but it's just like, still, to me, I was like, oh my goodness, this stuff is bonkers, man. Because people I'm like, man, people weren't programmed, and everybody knows, and everybody's saying the same thing, but no one's doing nothing about it. But through That's why I call Halal Yahweh Shemi Yahweh Shai for the Rakha Kodash. That what we do, we could do these videos and read the scriptures and speak with brethren, to prepare our minds for the things to come and to keep our spiritual awareness heightened. Because I was just talking to one of the brothers, and what basically being ready, and then we're in the time of the Pasachas right around the corner, and we're casting off the ego, the pride, anything that could head it be an unnecessary weight or distraction from you walking that straight gate. I mean that straight Salaki, that straight line, because the scriptures talk about there's a water on one side and fire on the other. That straight path, that narrow path, that there's a path of difficulty, which is like being in this truth, man, is hard. You gotta, and you gotta give it to yourself every now and then that, this is not no easy task, man. Us having this light, we're attacked, by demons. So that's why we definitely gotta have like, somewhat, have a low status to where you're not out there shining like a goddamn rock star or a goddamn rapper, and you're causing a shit ton of attention to yourself, man. So that's why the Lord will put the brakes on us to, to lock in, to lock in and focus on your Yahweh Shemi Yahweh Shai. And let me keep going. Because I thought about a few things. I kind of was long-winded. It says, men's hearts shall feel them. It says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, a chariot, with power and great glory. What? You're going to be on that fathership to where every eye shall see it. And that's one of the prophecies I'm waiting on, is that every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess, man. Because a lot of these people, they're bigged up by Satan. So that's why we know, like, in the times to come, it's going to be super dark, because they're going to be fully set and to do evil, and we're going to be fully set to do righteousness, because that's going to be the pure difference. Because Yahweh Shai said that he had come upon the earth to set variance, upon the earth, man. And I was thinking about this, right? Salaki. Calm down. There you go. No. What was it? Let me see if I'm right. Because we were thinking about the plagues of Egypt, right? And it was the ninth plague was the plague of darkness. Let me just read this. This is Exodus 10:21. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. And that's the thing, man, to constantly stay in the good graces of Yahweh Shemi Yahweh Shai, so we can have that light to see, man. Because the dark times to come, man, they're going to be totally bugged out. And like I said, their hearts, because they've been hypnotized, right? Because playing that music, you got the wrong one type of deal. Like, this social media stuff is plaguing these people, man. These demons are getting stronger and stronger. When I was coming to, I'm about to hit the gym and stuff, and I was, just like, you see more and more people stopping away, like far away from the stoplight. Oh, they go, they'll go the opposite direction before they make their turn. Like, say if they're going left, they'll go right to make a left-hand turn. You know how sometimes you'll do that for a U-turn, but like, my goodness, you can see these demons are just jumping on these people to do things to create chaos. And it's all through Edom's doing, from him worshiping the devil, man. What was I going to get? We could go to Matthew 10. It said at variance. These plagues are coming, man. And it's like, we keep our minds on Yahweh Shemi Yahweh Shai to stay afloat, right? Because, man, these people are going to be drowning, man. But what the Lord is going to give us the comfort, we're going to have the comforter, Slakia. I'm trying to think. Is it 10? And not the son. 1 second. Yeah, here you go. It says, there you go. Yeah, 34. This is Matthew 10 and 34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. For I am, for I am not, for Salakia, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own households. Yeah, it's gonna, like, people are gonna be your enemies are gonna be of your own household, whether it be your neighborhood, your actual house, or your community. And the Lord's teachings, right? And that's what's going to set people apart, is their beliefs. And that's why people, hey man, sedition among men, that uprising amongst these people it's gonna be devastating, man. Because these people, they live a super soft life, and everybody's a thug and a gangster and a killer, but never been to gladiator school. For the ones that know. And gladiator school is prison or jail. But even prison and jail, man, the food, it's just not the same. The testosterone was low, it's just not the same. Like, that toxic masculinity, that's a jail term. And I think about how, what's crazy? I was thinking about this earlier, and I just got to put it out there. That how a lot of those ghettos and like, especially where I grew up at, you have a lot of like people from prison in those areas, man. And people wind up taking the outside people wind up taking those prison tactics and using it on the outside, and that's what these people are doing, is just like taking those tactics and trying to be like that. And it's like, you really don't want to do that. That's not, because like they did doing that for the clout, but when you actually go there, that's not good, man. To be there, it's not good, man. Super bad things can happen and really mess people up like forever. And that's one thing. Like, yeah, certain things that happen in life, you may never heal from. So it's just best not to go down that route while you can, man. Because the Lord's judgment, could be heavy for an individual that's not strong, man. It says, and he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of, it says, my bad, I don't know if I said it. It says, and he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. You basically, you're not able to continue in the mission. You feeling weak. You feeling you don't want to do this no more. And it's not up to you. It's up to you. How about Shemiah Shine? So continue to push on, man. Your good works will follow you. Oh, that's I have to throw about Matthew 10, and I'll close it out after that. I just wanted to throw that out there before I hit the gym, man. Because I was just thinking to myself, like, strengthen your lows. Like, basically, when you're low, stay low, man. Like, type of deal, to where you don't want you don't want a whole lot of things. You're gonna work out that minimum lifestyle. Not overeating, not over drinking, not over having dealing with women and stuff like that. Because doing that, man, it's like a snowball effect, man. You wind up wanting to do it more and more. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. And that's the thing, man. We find our lives in serving Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And what we still get the things that these average people get that worship Satan unknowingly, but on a different level, man. It's like, and I was thinking about this, how like basically I make my own soda with the sparkling water and but right now I'm on the passion fruit. I buy the frozen passion fruit cubes and then throw that in some put some sparkling water, and that's my soda. And I was just like, man, technically that's how life is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be over sweet, and you know, it's like it's too exciting. You know, life is supposed to be, you know, a smooth ride. You know, you get your excitements here and there, but other than that, like, you know, you're not supposed to be experiencing like fun all the time. Your life is maxed out all the time. That's why these people are bugged out and they have super low crashes, because you got all those endorphins throughout all them days and weeks and months and years, and now your life is at a crash because you want that high, but can't get it, man. So that's why I say stay low. When you low, stay low, man. It's good. Like low is good. It's beautiful. You know, you don't want to be up, because then when you up, then people are looking to take you down, you know, making you jump for the ball, sweep your legs. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward, and he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. Right? And that's the beautiful thing, man. You know, it's like it's about your belief in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And some people, that's the thing too. People will believe in you. And the Lord has set us upon the earth to judge the world. So we have, you know, the Lord will give us, you know, he'll give us to make the judgment call, to, you know, to help an individual out to serve the Lord properly. It says, and whosoever shall give a drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. You know, and I thought about this because you want to think upon these things and meditate upon these things, so we keep a stable mind and know that sometimes we have this dark cloud over our heads, and that's just Satan plaguing our minds to, you know, feel a certain type of way, and that's a mental exercise to go through and to grow through. Okay, this is Proverbs 10. I'm gonna get to the point. It says, let me just start at one. It says, the Proverb of Solomon, a wise son. Yeah, let me still go down a little. This is because this is the point. And it says, the Lord will. Let me start at 2. It says, treasures of the wickedness. It's like a treasure of wickedness profiteth nothing, but righteousness deliver from death. And that's the beautiful thing about this, man. Your good works will follow you. It will deliver you from death. So it's like, remember that this is not our fight. This is not our movie. We're just actors rehearsing the righteous acts and performing better for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to help the believers. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. So a lot of these individuals that think they have substance, these cars and clothes and all, you know, everything that goes, is going to be stripped away, man. And they're going to be desperate. Their minds will be desperate to want these things back, but it's going to come with a price, man. And you know how, if you ever seen a movie called, what's it, Bedazzled, I forget the dude's name, but basically this dude had some wishes from the devil, and every time he made a wish, and it would just always be some fuckery with inside that fucking wish, man. Not to use, you know, low level words, but but there will always be something wrong with the wish. And the thing about with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai versus Satan is that Satan will give you that instant gratification, you know, versus the Lord, the long suffering, but you will receive your reward, and it will be beautiful, it will taste better. You know, you get to enjoy it. Nobody's gonna come and take it from you. You know, like how Satan does, will give you something, and it's like, boom, you broke. Since you acted a certain type of way, I'm gonna take it away from you, man. You know, or you know, you could, you know, the thing about Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai versus Satan, because I also just make this extra clear that as long as you stay faithful unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, nothing will be taken away from you. You know, you will, you know, like you said, if you lose your life for the namesake, you're gonna find your life, man. You know, and some. And that's how Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai works. He's gonna reward you 100-fold. You know, so all them times we been out there in the freezing cold and the heat, hey, the Lord's gonna reward us for that. So keep fighting, stay strong, man. When you low, strengthen your lows, man. You know what is a process? You know, of when you feeling something low, what should go to. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, double knowledge to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers, shalom to the elect.